Good morning, everybody. In the last lecture, we have discussed the concept of slip and slip speed. In this lecture, we will discuss the effect of slip on rotor parameters. So, these are the rotor parameters: rotor induced EMF, frequency, then magnitude of rotor induced EMF, rotor resistance, rotor power factor, and rotor current. So, we'll start with the first effect on rotor induced EMF frequency. Okay, we know that the synchronous speed ns is equals to 120 f by p. Then when our motor is on standstill condition, when our motor is at start nr is equals to 0 and s is equals to 1. The induced EMF in a rotor is directly proportional to slip speed. This is E2. The E2 is induced EMF in a rotor on standstill. So this E2 is directly proportional to ns minus nr, that is slip speed. At start nr is 0. So E2 is directly proportional to ns at start. When motor starts gathering a speed, that is nr is coming into the picture, that time now this E2R. What is E2R? It is rotor induced EMF at running condition. This E2R is directly proportional to ns minus nr. Now, as motor starts running, nr starts increasing and the relative speed starts decreasing. So this relative speed starts decreasing, this induced EMF is also decreasing. As induced EMF decreasing, its frequency is also decreasing. Okay, so there is a fixed relation like this between Fr is the rotor frequency, then slip speed ns minus nr, and number of poles p. Similar to this relation, there is a fixed relation between these three parameters also. So ns minus nr is equals to 120 Fr upon p. P is unchanged because number of stator pole is equals to number of rotor pole always. So we have got this first equation, this second equation. Now divide the equation 2 by 1. So we'll get ns minus nr divided by ns is equals to 120 Fr upon p into p upon 120 f. So this 120 p will get cancelled and we'll get, and what is this ns minus nr divided by ns? It is nothing but the slip. So slip s is equals to Fr upon f, and Fr is equals to SF. Okay, so we'll get here Fr, the rotor frequency Fr is equals to slip time supply frequency. Okay, so when motor starts running, it slips affecting the rotor frequency. As rotor frequency changed, the other parameters also changed. Now the second parameter is effect on magnitude of rotor induced EMF. So we have discussed, as slip is coming into the picture, slip speed is also changes. As nr is coming into the picture, nr is increasing continuously, so ns minus nr is decreasing. So E2R is also decreasing. So E2 is directly proportional to ns. If we see here, induced EMF is directly proportional to slip speed. At start, E2, nr is 0. So E2 is directly proportional to ns. So from here we have right here, E2 is directly proportional to ns. Give here equation number 1. Then E2R is directly proportional to ns minus nr, rotor induced EMF at running condition, and rotor induced EMF at standstill condition. Again we have got two equations. Now divide equation number 2 by 1. So what will get? E2R divided by E2 is equals to ns minus nr upon ns. What is this ns minus nr upon ns? It is the slip s. So E2R is equals to S E2. So up till now we have got two formulas. This is FR is equals to SF and E2R is equals to SE2. That is, rotor induced EMF at running condition is equals to the rotor EMF at standstill condition into its slip. Okay. Now third parameter is rotor resistance and reactance. So R2 is the rotor resistance at standstill condition. X2 is the rotor reactance on standstill condition, single phase. Then we know that X2 is 2 pi FL2 and X2R is now this frequency changed to FR on running condition. So X2R is equals to 2 pi FR L2. But what is this FR? This FR is equals to SF. So put this value of FR in equation number 2 and rearrange it. You will get, now see here like this. So X2R is equals to, now write down this S outside the bracket, 2 pi FL into S. And what is this 2 pi FL? This 2 pi FL is nothing but the X2. So we'll got X2R is equals to Sx2. This is our third equation. That is, rotor reactance on running condition is equals to rotor reactance on standstill condition into its slip. Now we have, and R2 is the same in running condition also and in standstill condition also. So we have X2R and R2. So we can find out the impedance Z. So impedance Z2R means impedance of a rotor on running condition is equals to, we know the formula, R2 plus JX2R. But what is this JX2R? It is SX2. So Z2R is equals to R2 plus J SX2 ohm per phase. And how to find out the magnitude? To find out the magnitude, we just have to take a square root of both the quantities square. So square root of R2 square plus SX2 whole bracket square ohm per phase. So this is the rotor reactance on standstill and running condition. Also we have found out rotor impedance also. The next fourth parameter is effect on rotor power factor. So this is the impedance triangle for a rotor on running condition. This is Z2R, this is R2 and this is X2R. Suppose this is a angle phi 2R, rotor power factor at running condition. So cos phi 2R is equals to adjacent upon hypo. So R2 by Z2R. So R2 by Z2R. And what is Z2R? In the last slide we have discussed. Z2R is equals to square root of R2 square plus Sx2 square. So put this value here. So you will get cos 2R is equals to R2 divided by square root of R2 square plus Sx2 square. This is equation number 5. Then last parameter is effect on rotor current. Rotor current I2, rotor current per phase on standstill, and I2R is the rotor current per phase on running condition. So I2 is equals to E2 by Z2. So E2 as it is, Z2 we know that square root of R2 square plus X2 square on standstill, and on running condition I2R is equals to E2 divided by Z2R. So again this E2 will as it is, this E2 is E2R. Okay, so it will be E2R is SE2 and Z2R, magnitude of Z2R is square root of R2 square plus Sx2 square. Okay, so these are the effects on a rotor parameter. We have discussed 4 parameters. We have discussed all 5 parameters. this rotor frequency Fr is equals to Sf, then magnitude of rotor induced EMF E2R is equals to SE2, then rotor resistance will be same, rotor reactance is X2R is equals to SX2, rotor power factor we have derived, and rotor current also we have derived. Okay, so this is the effect of slip on a rotor parameters. In the next lecture we will discuss about the torque slip or the torque in a induction motor. Thank you.